ammonium perchlorate removal, all these other chemicals that they remove with ion exchange resin. We did extensive testing at the EPA to find out which resins work best to pull out certain things. Some of them have copper in them. And so the first thing I asked was, is the resin sprayed on a copper bead? Because if the pH is wrong, you can eat all the resin off and you can expose the copper bead and that'll cause the blue water. Danielle thinks it might be the copper pipes and the adjustment of pH caused by the filters. Danielle and I agree, it's probably copper. We just aren't sure. She's convinced me it's not copper in the resin, so I'm leaning her way and that it's probably the copper pipes. Copper in that kind of stuff, leaching, is unpleasant, it's a nuisance, it's going to stain your sinks and your porcelains, but it's not a health concern. So that's what I know about the filters. Back there. Thank you.
I am very concerned with the last meeting that you had. Every one of those people stood up there and told us this water is safe. Now, I don't know what they consider safe.
Right.
I know other people want to see the city that has problems with cancer. This is absolutely ludicrous that we were not notifying all these people. And when the state is standing here and standing here and telling these people that this water is safe, is the
Her question is in the form of a statement. She's irritated with the state and their representatives dialoguing with you at the last state meeting, representing their toxicological data that this level of Chrome 6 is safe. Here is where Danielle, her superiors, and the state of Texas and I am not a toxicologist. And I'm going to stand up here, and every time I do, I'll tell you I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a toxicologist, and I'm not going to represent that I'm going to be all end all in toxicology. But I've read what they've posted online. The state has a posting that has their map and has the toxicological data on it. We disagree. We couldn't be further apart on that. I totally disagree with the state of Texas's position on the toxicology. Totally disagree. That's what they've been presented, and that's what they've adopted. There is a ton of new information out there, and I have been pleading and will continue to plead and will continue to submit those documents to the state toxicologists to bring them on our side. And I feel confident that I'll be able to do that because it's not my science, it's readily available science. The Congress of the United States of America's hired scientists, far superior to anybody I've ever worked with, that have come out and said they're moving that level down to something less than 1. Okay, let me talk to you about exposure and toxicological effect to you. You're different than her, than her, than her, than me. I just came off a fried chicken binge and I haven't slept in 6 weeks. And I drank chromium 6 water in Midland today. I might get cancer because of that. But it's because of all the other things I did. I ate too much fried chicken. I've been on airplanes for the last 2 weeks. Those are my personal experiences that make me unique and different. And then I'm exposed to some irresponsible polluter's chemical. And that will cause me to get cancer. So these numbers, 72,000 parts per billion for 6 weeks and you're safe, and what people were pulling out of their wells today, I wouldn't give to my dogs. I wouldn't give it to rats I wanted to kill in my attic. I mean, this was bad stuff, guys. Remember when I told you that city water has one part per million or 1,000 parts per billion of chlorine in it, and it smells bad, people won't drink it. That's 1,000. You guys have 5,000, 3,000, 1,000 parts of a superoxidant in your water. Plus, who's going to, frankly, the vessel that they poured this water in today, I wanted to put my car and take up the road here to Schlumberger and sell it back to them. Because it's got that much value in it. It's the pure stuff, folks.
This goes back, and I appreciate your statement, and they're going to try to tell you the sky's orange. You know what color it is. And this is something that we all share. I could stand here tonight and because I've been watching these clouds out here. I said I was born and raised in Kansas. The tornadoes scare me bad. And if I see a big black thing coming this way, I'm not going to stop and pick up the phone and call one of the scientists and go, I got this big black cloud coming my way. Do you think I should run? Common sense tells me, run. If your headlines tomorrow in your Midland newspaper said that your wells were tainted with rat poison, you can pick up the phone and call scientists and say, well, is that 50 parts per billion versus 1 parts per million? It's rat poison. Should I be drinking it? A poison is a poison is a poison. I want to share with you a little story, okay, about what happens sometimes in industry. Because our agency's in place to protect us, while well-meaning, don't always do that. With no money and no staff, they rely on what industry gives them. That becomes one-sided science. In the now famous case, PG&E had paid experts who sat in a tub full of hexavalent chromium, smoking cigars, drinking wine, videotaping themselves, and making fun of the people in Hinckley, saying, this hexavalent chromium can't hurt you. So during trial, those experts were on cross-examination. The day before, we had hexavalent chromium mixed in a laboratory. And on cross, Tom Girardi asked that gentleman, sir, we just watched the videotape. You claim to drink hexavalent chromium and sit in it with no ill health effects. So guess what I have for you here today? And he put a glass on the witness stand and he filled it up with some Gatorade water. He said, have a drink. The expert said, no. Mr. Girardi said, why not? And the expert said, because I don't know what's in the water. And he said, well, sir, the people of Hinckley, California didn't know what was in their water either, and you told them it was safe to drink. And because the expert wouldn't drink it, and that courtroom was so quiet you could hear a pin drop, one of the judges leaned out over the bench and he looked at that expert and he said, drink it, damn it. And he wouldn't. And his entire $7 million groundwater model and his testimony were thrown out of court. So when you hear that from the state, you can say, you can tell me what you want all day long. I'm not drinking this stuff. Help yourself to a glass. We had a county commissioner out today, and he saw that water, and he goes, I've never seen that. I said, have a sip. He said, no way. So thank you for the statement. Anticipate that you will hear, this can't hurt you. Hexavalent chromium is a known compound. And by the way, sometimes science lags behind the law, but when it comes to this chemical, it's caught up. They know about it via inhalation. They know about it by ingestion. It's a dangerous compound. It's a poison. It's a poison, and it should be in your water, and it's 0 level. No chromium. Otherwise, I wouldn't drink it. EPA going to come investigate Schlumberger.
Okay, she asked the tough question and I already let the cat out of the bag. Probably not, initially. And that's a fair answer to a fair question. Is the EPA, and when you say EPA, you mean the state of Texas EPA. Because there's 2 EPAs and a lot of people cross-use the names. There's the United States Environmental Protection Agency and there's Texas Commission on Environmental Quality Superfund section. Is that what you're referring to? Those are the people that have been working with you so far, Danielle and the Superfund section folks. Their primary objective, and this is not unique to your situation, is and always has been immediately protect public health. Get on the ground, get in the field, get the problem under control, protect public health. That is their primary objective. Does that mean that they're just ignorantly got blinders on and they're not looking behind their heads? I don't think so. I will not represent that. But their immediate goal and objective is to protect you and your health. And right now, they're still trying to figure out how far south the plume goes, number one. Number two, they are actually trying to find out how far north it goes, which is going to lead back to who we think it is.